That is a fat crack.
Hey guys, welcome back to episode 2 of podcast. Bloom.
Balloon.
For those of you who are keen-eyed, you can see in the bottom left. This is the same night, not 10
Hey,
minutes
Kian.
after we fit. Oh, hey,
You're a fucking scumbag.
thanks.
Alright, Robocop.
This is like 10 minutes after we finished the first episode. We just wanted to do
Balloon was a
another.
good idea.
No,
Zach's a little bit salty about Bloom. But...
Zach is a bit salty about Bloom, but it's
Listen,
alright.
Bloom is not the podcast name, Zach.
We-
Fucking leave it.
Move on. So yeah, this is like 10 minutes after the first one. We were so happy with how it turned out. We thought we'd do another one.
We have no lives.
We have no lives.
So,
we have
here we
nothing
are.
better to do. We're all in lockdown. Let's make another podcast. Today
Facts.
we're going to be talking about the trips. So there were 2 trips. There was where Moto came to visit me and Gino, and there was the big Scotland trip for these 3 boys. So I'm going to be essentially like a host. I'm going to run through some questions and some titles of memories they've got, and they're going to tell us stories behind them. So we'll get through the first trip with me, Moto, and Gino out the way, I guess. Does that sound good?
Yeah, I'm done with that.
Cool. Okay, so we only have 5 titles for this one, but I feel like, Moto, you're going to have a good time with this first one. Tell everyone about the time I accidentally almost killed you. And this is not
Right.
like this is not like a joke of like, oh yeah, haha, I almost killed my friend by pushing him down the stairs. Haha, this is like I genuinely almost killed him. It was complete accident.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to do it.
He says this.
accident,
I have my doubts, bro. I've got a conspiracy theory here.
Oh fuck. Anyway, go on.
Okay, so I get to the university that Kian and Franco study at, and I get to their dorms, and I'm settling in, and like obviously I was super fucked up. Like I'm pretty sure the Virgin train I got there, which by the way, the Virgin train, right? I don't know what it is, but I go to the toilet, right? And obviously public toilets are fucking grim, right? I hate them. And I go in and I start peeing, and the toilet started talking to me. Like the toilet dead ass had a speaker in it, and it kept reminding me to wash my hands and if I peed on the toilet seat to clean it up. And it scared the shit out of me. Like I was there like peeing, I was like, "Oi, you, wash your hands." I was like, "What the fuck? Who the fuck's in here?" So I was like freaking the fuck out, okay? Anyway, so I'm pretty sure that train journey got me pretty ill. Like I wasn't feeling the best. I'm pretty sure I just got a mix to do with the anxiety I had throughout the day of traveling, and just something on that train fucked me up. So I'm like at their place. It's been like a few hours now, and I'm sitting in Kian's room on his desk, and Kian had these man flu tablets, and I was looking at them, and I looked at Kian. I was like, "Oh, Kian, what are these for?" And he was like, "Oh man, like these will help you a lot. Like if you're not feeling well, it gives you a bit more energy, like gives you a little bit more boost, like it makes you feel a bit better." And like, granted, it's not necessarily Kian's fault. I probably should have read the tablets, but I have a severe intolerance for caffeine and anything caffeine based. Like I pretty much can't drink like most energy. Well, I can't drink any energy drinks really. Coffee or even Coke, like it gives me really bad heart palpitations and my heart just beats out of control. I get the cold sweats. Pretty much a junkie without its fix. So I'm like, didn't think about it. Kian's like, "Yo, try one. Honestly, make you feel better." So I'm like, fuck it, pop one in my mouth, and it was like almost instant. Like I sat there and I was like, whoa, like I don't know. It's like I imagine this is what LSD feels like.
Just to point out, these aren't like tablets as in like pills. These are like hard mints. They're just like these cylinder things you can just bite on and chew them.
Like the Lucozade energy tablets.
Yeah.
These aren't like his
they're like breath
prescription
mints. Yeah.
Yeah.
They look like breath mints in a packet.
So I'm like I start like feeling the classic feelings I have when I know if my body's having too much caffeine. So like I'm like sitting there and I start to shake and I look at him and he's like, "You good?" I was like, "Bro, what the fuck is in those?" And we look, and this one tablet had the equivalent of like 5 Monster Energy cans. Like this little tablet was packed with so much fucking caffeine. It was unreal. Like it was like, I don't know how they could sell something like this. It was a fucking ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
And I sat there and I was like, this is really not good. Like, this is actually really not good. Like, I'm gonna have such a severe reaction to this. This is gonna fucking suck. And Kian's like, what do you mean? I'm like, bro, I can't have caffeine. Like, I have such a bad intolerance to it. Like, I might generally pass out here. Like, my heart is fucking going crazy right now. And like, as I'm speaking to him, it's getting worse and worse. And I'm like, at this point, I'm like full on shaking. Like, I'm like I've got like a tremor or something. Like, I'm like shaking around. I'm like, bro, like, this is like, I don't feel good at all. And Kian's like, oh, fuck. And he calls Franco in. And he's like, bro, mate, I've given Moto this tablet. But like, he's not allowed caffeine and he's fucking like freaking out right now. And I'm like, boys, like, I just need to like go out, sit outside or something, or like, just like, I need to be out and just like in fresh air because I'm like fucking, I'm like freaking out here. And like the rest of the day, it was just like, bro, it was awful. It was like the worst like flu symptoms you could have, like cold sweats. My heart was just palpitating everywhere. Like, I couldn't focus on anything. Like, I was just having a fucking huge withdrawal to these tablets. And like the next day, I woke up with like the worst caffeine hangover. Like, I felt like a dryad in a nun's cunt. Like, I was like, holy fucking shit, this shit dried me out from the inside out, bro. Like, I still feel like shit. And Kian's like, he generally feels so bad. He's like, bro, I had no idea you were not allowed caffeine. This is the first day of my trip there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm fucking like, bro, it was awful. Like, to this day, it was probably one of the worst reactions I've ever had to fucking caffeine. Like, it was like, oh, as soon as I took it, and we found out how much was in these tablets. Like, bro, honestly, I wouldn't even suggest, even if anybody have the food, to have this tablet.
No.
Like, I don't know how Kian fucking.
Me and Kian used to pop them like they were fine though.
No, yeah. So
Bro.
We would have them like nothing.
Yeah. So some context: we were shopping in like a local supermarket, and we saw these tablets, and we were like, oh, we'll get Fresh's flu, so it's probably smart we just take these. And so I had like, by the time Moto got there, I'd bought it a week ago, and I had half the packet gone. So every time I felt a bit shitty, I just took one. And apparently, all it was doing was just pumping caffeine in my body, and I was feeling okay again. But you know, as much as we joke about it and meme about it, like, it was genuinely one of the scariest like things, because I was like, I've fucked this guy up. Like, I was like, I'm feeling so guilty. I was like, I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight. I feel so bad.
Bro,
yeah,
it
like,
was rough. I remember like laying in bed
yeah.
and the room was just like spinning. Like, I was like, oh,
so it's like,
bro.
as much as we like joke about it, like, oh, Moto tried to kill Kian, I didn't actually try and kill him. It wasn't on purpose. Like, it was basically both of us being fucking dumb. More me.
Bro, I should have.
We didn't read the. So basically, the cautionary tale here is just read the ingredients.
Read the ingredients on everything.
Yeah, especially if if you got someone like Moto around who's very sensitive to certain things.
To everything.
Yeah.
Bro, I was like, I the thing is, right, the way you two spoke about it, it was like, yeah, man, it really helps you out. So I was like,
and it does.
Well, if you guys are fucking
For us.
racking packets at a time like it's fucking Skittles, I was like, I'll be fine.
See, the thing is, I think we bought a multi-pack, so it was 4 packets, like 4 tubes in one, and it only cost like £2. And we were like, okay, we'll buy it, and then, I'll take 2, he'll take 2. And like, we tried one at the same time, we were like, bro, I feel great. This is insane.
We had them like there was Chew-Its.
Basically, honestly, there was a day, and it probably, looking back on it retrospectively, it was probably a bad anxiety day for me. It was probably a really bad anxiety day for me, but looking back, we had like 3 in one, like in 2 hours. We had 3 in 2 hours, so that's like 15 energy drinks. And like, we stayed up for like 18 hours, and we just didn't sleep. It was
bouncing off the walls.
But so to tie in to the second story we've got for this trip, we speak to Gino and we say, hey, like, he's suffering real bad. We need to. He was like, I need water. I need to flush out my system. And we were like, okay, let's get you some food. So this brings us to story number 2.
Dude, this is even okay. For anybody listening, just know that throughout this story, right, throughout what's about to be told to you, I am still heavily fucked up by these caffeine tablets.
Yeah, this is the same day. This is like an hour or 2 later. He's just done the tablets, and Oh, he's not done them. He's just taken a tablet.
You sound like such junkies
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now, but they're just, literally, they're the sort of thing you can buy in a supermarket, so they're not
Here's-
like
yeah,
anything
yeah,
bad.
like,
to the
It's
normal
just he
person,
had a
they're
bad
fine.
interaction
Yeah, if you
with
look
them,
at like a Trebor Strong Mint, they look like those, like the hard, crunchy, cylinder-looking ones. They look like coins. Yeah. So he's feeling the effects of this, and we say, we need to get him some food. I'm gonna sit back and let these two argue this story out.
Bro,
Basically, so
Oh.
Gino has the idea to say, I'll make you some chili because that usually helps flush your system out. And this is what happened.
okay, so Franco's obviously got Italian background, right? His father's side's Italian, so like he's making dishes that he's obviously grown up with. And if it's one thing people obviously know about Italians, they love their herbs and spices. Okay.
Yup.
Now, like we said, I am super sensitive to a lot of things. That includes caffeine. That includes hot, spicy, chili stuff. Okay. So he's like, I'm making a chili con carne. I asked him before he did it. I was like, is it spicy? All right. Probably hindsight 2020. I'm asking an Italian guy if it's spicy. But I asked him, is it spicy? He's like, nah, man, it's super mild. Like, it's actually really good. Now, I'm pretty sure Franco had made this for Kian, like, before, but it wasn't as fucking hot as this. Because Kian was like, yeah, no, it's actually really good. So
Once
I'm like,
again,
okay, like,
I was like, this is insane. This is real good. You'll love it. It's real good.
yeah, so I was like, okay, like, again, probably should have realized that they said this about the tablet too, but didn't click. So I'm like, yeah, like, I need to get some food in my system. I need to just flush this fucking caffeine stuff out. So Franco's like, all right, man, like, I'll start cooking and I'll whip you up a chili con carne. So I'm like, all right, like, I'm kind of hyped for this. So I'm sitting, like they said, like, their kitchen and living room are like one. So me and Kian are sitting down watching some shit on Netflix, and he's cooking away. And like, as he's cooking, you can smell the spice in the air. And he's like, I'm watching it, and he's just throwing like chili powder from like behind a fucking shield, like he's just
wearing
flicking it in the
he's wearing
pan.
full metal armor.
Yeah, like he's fucking like, and he's like throwing all kinds of herbs and spices. And to be fair, it smelled really good. Like it did smell,
and it tasted
fucking
good as well.
I couldn't taste it because my mouth was burning off my face, bro. This
Alright,
shit
I'll just like
was
to point
so
out,
hot.
okay, that like when I said that like this is mild, like I can go through like a whole pot of this, and anyway, I have like IBS, so hot food doesn't agree with me. I can eat this chili, no issue. So like when he's like, oh yeah, how is it? Yeah, I'm like, he's like, how is it? And I'm like, oh yeah, it's fine. Like it's nothing bad. There's like, realistically, there's only like the chili powder and a bit of paprika and a few chili flakes. I'm like, oh, it's fine. It's nothing really. So in my head, this is just like a very mild chili con carne. There's no extra hot sauces. There's no actual like raw chili or anything. So I'm thinking, oh, you'll be fine.
Bro,
yeah, that
you
backfired straight up.
You added so many chili. Like the thing is, even Kian was like, "Holy shit, this is spicy."
I would like to point in also, the way that Gino cooks, especially with like chilies and bologneses, he does like a family portion because he, usually rations it out. He doesn't not that he doesn't know, but he just doesn't do single serving portions.
I'm Italian. We
So
don't
he
do single
does-
play.
He does, like these big fuck off portions. So, just he was basically adding to taste for a family of 5, and only him and Moto were going to be eating it.
Oh my god, dude! This like, do you know when you initially eat something spicy and it doesn't really hit you? Like you eat it and you're like,
You feel it
swallow
on the
and then
lips.
after a few seconds it kind of hit. Yeah. This, like, as soon as it made contact with anywhere in my mouth, it was like, like it just fucking ripped. But like I have
cartoon animated like steam coming out the ears.
Yeah,
Going bright
like-
red.
I have a thing called SPD, which is like sensory processing disorder. So like I have trouble with my senses anyway. They're super over heightened. So like this sensation in my mouth was fucking horrendous. Like, but the thing is, it tastes so good. But like after 2 spoonfuls, like I looked at him, he was like, "You good?" And I'm like, "Bro, this
Water.
is, like I don't want to be rude, but this is really spicy, bro." Oh my god, it was. I'm feeling like ass anyway because of this fucking caffeine tablet.
So-
And now I've got to contest with a burning mouth.
So what we'd done is we had taken someone who's very sensitive to like all these things. We'd taken them 6 hours away from their house, which had, which is a bit of stress. We'd given them an overdose of caffeine. We then filled them full of spicy food. The lights were on, blaring. The TV was super loud. We were just ticking off every sensory attack possible.
Bro, it was like a fucking autistic's worst dream. Like, it was like a disco of just sensory.
Obviously, we didn't fully understand what was going on, but then once after, he'd not got rid of the heat, but once he got it under control slightly, he was like, yeah, I have this, and this. So we were like, okay, cool. We turned the TV off. We had like just the low lights on. We opened the patio doors, and we just had.
I was detoxing in there, man. Fuck. Honestly, I had such an out of body experience. I reckon, like, do you know how shamans like smoke some whack shit and have some fucked up
we
dreams
pumped you
to
full of
cleanse
caffeine
their
and
body?
chili, and then put you in a dark room.
Honestly, I came back home a new man. I sweated all the demons out of me, bro. Like. That chili was so and then I remember, because you said he rationed it, the next day he was like, I'm having chili for breakfast, do you want some? And I was just like, how fucking dare you ask me? Like, do you think I had 2 spoonfuls of your chili yesterday? I had enough of it. Like, but it tasted so good.
I remember you made the joke as well. You were like,
so
it's so fucking spicy, you won't need to heat it up because it'll feel boiling hot anyway.
Oh, bro, it was rough. It was so fucking rough, man. Like, oh, it was a bad time all around.
All in all, great chili, but just too spicy. But we kind of touched on something I want to go back to, like, just for a very, very quick topic. We've got written here, homesick. Do you wanna talk about what that was like?
Okay, yeah. So, they obviously had discussed in the first podcast about being homesick. Now, after a few days of being there, I started getting really bad anxiety during night times. And like it got to the point where they were sitting down, and it was just me, Franco, and Kian, and they could obviously realize that something was up. And they were like, "Yo, what's up?" And I was like, "Bro, like I think I want to go home. Like I'm having a really bad time with my anxiety at the moment," which probably might have had something to do with the fact my first interaction there. Just because I was exposed to so much shit, it just made me
PTSD there.
Yeah, like it just fucking made my whole sensory just fucking like go haywire for a few days. So like I was exhausted. I was still not feeling well because I generally think I caught something because you guys started getting sick after that as well. Like I generally think that Virgin train gave me something. So like I was just not feeling right, and I was just and I was at the time I was still a bit embarrassed to talk about like my anxiety and stuff. Just because it's not something I ever really brought up with Kian and Franco. Like Franco obviously knew about like my autism and stuff, but like he didn't know the extent of it because it's just not something I really want to bring up. It's not something I really want to talk about. And I remember like I sat there and I was like, I'm gonna have to tell these guys just straightforward because otherwise it's just gonna seem like a really weird situation. Because like I feel like I'm honestly about to break down. Like I'm having a really rough time. And like we were sitting and I was like, boys, like I think I might need to go home or something. Like I'm like having a rough time. Like I just can't seem to like have a good time, like we're having a good time, but constantly like after a while I remember the anxiety and then it kind of ruins the mood for me. And like instantly they were both like obviously because they're all familiar with this, they were okay, like one of our friends, he's currently coming up, like he can definitely take you back if need be, like if we can sort that out, just take your time, like
because as soon as the suggestion of him being like I'm not okay, I need to go home, someone who like it's under control these days, but as someone who back then dealt with really, really bad anxiety, I was like, okay, I need to prepare for like getting him home tonight. Like that's my plan. And then obviously, we discussed it. We're like, we have friends who can take you back. They'll be more than willing. And then we were like, looking at trains and stuff. And it's something it's something that's even still to this day we maybe not Moto so much, but I at least take into consideration is whenever I want to plan something, I'm always thinking to how can we do this at Moto's house? Can I go up to Moto to do this? Because obviously there's times where he'll have to come to me for things, or he'll want to come down and to my house and stuff, but every time something happens or we want to do something, I always try and plan that because I know for a fact that Moto makes me feel so welcome in his house. I could stay there for as long as I need to be there. but I know for a fact that it's not by his choice, by no means. But obviously, Moto's just not able to do that. So if we want to do lots of things, I usually want to go up to him because that's just a way to accommodate for it.
Yeah. And it was just a vibe kill. I had to be honest because I was just struggling with it, and
Yeah,
it was
and,
super, and I think because you two were super understanding about it, and you were instantly trying to make sure to get me home and stuff, it instantly took a lot of weight off, and I was like, oh, do you know what? I'll try another night. Because obviously I want to have a good time. I don't just want to go home. So I remember I ended up staying longer.
You'd
It
originally
got to the point where it got to the point where this might be just my memory of it. You felt we found plenty of options for you in case it got to the point where you couldn't bear it anymore. I feel like it lifted that pressure off, so that if it got so bad you could leave, which made it better, so that you ended up enjoying it more.
Yeah, we gave you exit plans, so you didn't feel so trapped down here. You were we were yeah, we can get you home these ways, if you need to.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of like Juno said, did help you quite a lot.
It was good, and like I said, it just lifted a lot of that stress away, and knowing that you guys understood helped a lot as well. And then I ended up staying longer. We ended up moving my train.
The original plan was he was only gonna stay for 2 days, 2 or 3 days, and he ended up staying for 4 or 5.
I'm pretty sure it was a week because you had to hide me.
Oh no, we did actually have to hide you for a week because our dorms got inspected every week, and we had to hide all of his stuff and then go out for the day. Which brings us to our first story, because I think this one's relatively quick. The water park. This one happened. This was the last thing we did before you went home, but it's like a 5-minute thing, and I just want to throw it in there because it was so funny. Some of the stuff that happened that day.
Bro, that water park was a death trap.
So basically, the city we went to university and had a water park on the outskirts, and we we were like, fuck it, let's go for we were in the park. We'd done an activity we're about to mention.
We got a frisbee.
We just done an activity for the day. We were in the park, and there's 2 groups of us. There's two, I think it's Moto, Gino, and someone else sitting by a waterfall. And there's 2 or 3 other of us just dicking around. And I'm like, hey, it's Moto's last day tomorrow. We should go to a water park. And everyone's like, fuck yeah, that sounds good. So we walk up.
I was so about it, man.
We
walk up.
walk up to the
me and
second
Franco
group.
had to wake up earlier because we had to hunt for swimming shorts for me.
Yeah,
he walked
he did.
so far to find these fucking swimming trunks.
Yes, we came up with the plan of just being like, yeah, we'll go to the water park tomorrow, and I think that like you said, you had to wake up super early and go get swim stuff because it was so last
stupid
minute.
early too. It was 6 in the morning because it was a Sunday, I'm pretty sure, and the shops were closing early or something. It was weird.
It was a Sunday, so the shops were closing early, but also we wanted to get to the water park as soon as it opened because we're weird like that. So we
wanted maximum water park time.
So we get to the
we
water
want
park.
it to be pruned to fuck.
Facts. We looked like a granddad's nutsack by the end of it. It was we were there for a long time.
We get our stuff. We go to the water park, and it's not open yet because it opens at 9:30 instead of 9 because it's a Sunday.
Oh yeah.
So
we had a Subway.
9 a.m. in the morning, we have a Subway for breakfast, and then we go in the water park. And I think there's 2 things I want to talk about in the water park before we move on. Is the lily pads, and the
my God.
and just the way that you fucking scummazed some of the people there.
So I'll let the lifeguards.
I'll let you go about that. Yeah.
So, after the whole anxiety stuff, I started having the kind of attitude of fuck it, I'm just gonna have a fucking good time. Nobody knows me here, so I'm just gonna, just be super cheeky, just not rude, but just fun. I was just gonna have a good time. And I try to be a bit more outgoing. And we get to this pool, right? And there's these lily pads. Now, if anybody has seen Jakessi's Castle, right? Do you know the part where they run over the stones? Picture those stones. That's literally what these lily pads look like. And they were rock solid. I don't get it, right? I don't get why this water park had rock solid lily pads that you could run over, right? And the mission was to run from one end to the other end without obviously falling. But the issue is that these lily pads were rock solid. Like they were like,
And slippery as hell.
oh, bro. And like we spent a good hour, like our group spent a good hour trying to go over it. It got to the point where pretty much the whole fucking swimming pool started looking at us and cheering us on to try and get over this fucking lily pad. But nobody managed to do it. But by
We
the
all
end
walked
of
away
it,
with a bruise.
bro, I woke up the next morning fucking covered in like huge bruises from these lily pads. And it baffles me because like lifeguards were like egging us on and they were like, yeah. And like every time somebody hit the deck really hard, all you hear is the whole swimming pool go, oh, and then you hear it pop out a head out and they're like, whoa, and we'll go again. Like it was just really fun. And like the whole atmosphere of the pool and everybody like egging us on, it just made us keep doing it and not take into consideration that we're just throwing our limp bodies at this fucking rock hard like object. And they were super slippery. Like you'll make it over one, make it over two, and then like you have so much force at that point that you'll put your foot on the third one and it would just like it's like wet soap in your hands, like, and you just eat shit. So like that was like
they were so unstable. We had to get people to come in and hold the lily pads for us while we did it because they kept moving around and being like slippery as fuck.
I'm pretty sure we had
Yeah,
one
they were
person.
on like chains in the water, weren't they? So they
Yeah.
just bounced about.
The chains were also exposed, like under the water. Like you could catch
Yeah,
your
didn't
like.
Didn't you get a toe caught in one? And, like,
Yeah.
fucked your foot up?
I fucking caught like the web like in between my big toe and the toe next to it, right in between the chain. Fucking like went in as I fell. So I pretty much just like, how would you like it was in the web of my big toe and my toe next to it.
Yeah.
And just like,
Yeah, like,
whacked it, bro.
You like
That's so
your
shit.
toes like scissored the chain.
Yeah.
as you,
It
like,
was
slid down.
it was rough as fuck. And that was literally the first thing we did when we got there. Is those lily pads. We seen the lily pads and we just went for it.
We did, we started on lily pads and then we went and did some other stuff and then we spent like the last hour before the place closed. Oh yeah, by the way, we ate lunch there. We got like a big fucking dessert platter to share between like 2 each.
Oh, dude, they were fucking so good. Brownies,
Brownies,
ice
donuts, ice
cream,
cream. And then we went
muffins,
immediately back
bro.
in.
Oh.
So much.
Oh, bro, and then we went back to swim afterwards, like 17 stone heavier.
Also, can we quickly mention the lazy river that wasn't so very lazy?
Bro, that
Wow.
river was fast as fuck. Again, like, remember when we tried to hold ourselves against the current?
Yeah,
And
so
like
there
we
was,
couldn't,
stab each other's
physically.
arms.
at the entrance.
But then
of-
by the time there were like 5 people hanging off my arm, and like a fucking Stretch Armstrong, and I'd just be like, dude, that was so dumb. That
Yeah,
was
the
again.
entrance-
Why did they let us do that?
at the entrance of the lazy river, there's this metal pole, and basically we worked out who was the strongest and who was the weakest, and we went down in like a chain to be like, okay, so you go around, you grab on to the metal pole, okay, then you grab onto him, and then you grab onto him, and then when everyone's latched on, you have to climb up the bodies, and then everyone has to climb up you holding everyone on, and it was a shit show.
It was a shit show, and then I had to flirt with the bodyguard to try.
Bodyguard.
Oh god. Oh no, sorry. Lifeguard.
I had to flirt with a bouncer
to
at a swimming
flirt.
pool.
I had to flirt. Oh no ID, mate. You're not getting in. Lazy River shut for you, mate.
You've had too much to drink. You're going home.
Also, one thing I'd like to point out, yeah, the fucking wave pool that they rave about on their website wasn't on for the
Was-
entire
it was-
day.
Bro, and it went on once and it was
it?
terrible.
And there was
Yeah,
plastic
yeah.
floating
Going
everywhere.
on.
Bro, it was fucking terrible. And like, because that's how I started flirting with the lifeguard, because I tried to get it to turn it on, because they
Oh
wouldn't
shit!
turn it on.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I started talking to her and like, giving her a bit of cheeky, which I don't normally really do. But like, I was just being flirty and cheeky, and she obviously grabbed it like hook, line, and sinker. And the whole time, Kian could see exactly what I was doing, and then she turned it on once, and it was fucking terrible. It was honestly like, do you know when you're in your bath and you rock back and forth and it creates a wave? It was like that, but like 4 times bigger. It was dog shit. It was awful. It was rough. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? This is shit. You were talking like the whole website was built around this sick, advanced, state-of-the-art wave pool. and it was like somebody splashed a bit of water in my face. It was fucking awful, bro.
Do you remember how
It
there
was
was a slide that we'd
horrendous.
go down and we'd watch for each other going down? We'd be like, oh, you have to do a Fortnite about while you're going down.
That was
I
so
don't know.
fucking
I don't know.
cringy.
I don't know what you're talking. No, I remember him, Franco coming down on the fucking
the
rubber ring,
tornado. Oh,
and
yeah.
as he came down, like the slide, it was like the bottom of the slide had like a vortex, if you will, of water. So like if you hit it at the wrong angle, it would flip you straight over. And Franco came down, threw a fat dab, because this is the time the dabs were a thing. Threw a fat dab, but with him doing it, it spun him a full 180, so he was now backwards to us. He
And
hits the bottom of
flipped
the
the
slide,
fuck.
and it flips him, and all you can see is his butt cheeks at the bottom of this ring, and he's just stuck upside
It was
down
so
at the bottom
funny.
of this fucking,
I
and he's like
wish we had a
flailing his
GoPro.
legs trying to get unstuck.
He was just-
But then also
And
because
then
of that, because I was backwards upside down, the water that was getting pressured down the slide was just going up my nostrils, and I was fucking like basically drowning. It was fucking awful.
At
He
this
was
point,
drowning
you
with
wouldn't
his
even
ass
know
in the
what
air.
was where. You're like, where the fuck am I? Like, you were like so disoriented. Then you
Mhm.
popped up and you were like, and you're all pissed. And I was laughing. It was like, we had the best view of it, man. Like,
Mhm.
fuck,
Oh,
it
maybe the
looked
worst
so
view,
fucking
depending.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because all I could see was his fucking butt crack coming out the bottom of the fucking rubber dinghy.
Yeah, it was a good time. The day before that, however, we did something that none of us had done enough, like I don't think ever or for a while. We all took part in an escape room.
I mean, we is
Well-
very
No. Start the story. Go on.
you know what? I'll let Franco discuss this one, and then I'll
So-
take it from where we leave.
You give your perspective on it.
Yeah.
So don't mention
So-
anything we did. Just
No. I'll just do like the events leading up. So like, there was the group of us. So there was us three that are here in the chat. There was then 3 extra people from the university. So there was 6 of us in total, and we were just trying to find like, obviously with Moto just coming down to the location of our university, we wanted to find as many sort of fun things to do and make sure that we weren't just inside playing Fortnite all day. So we were going out, done the water park, went to the park, just done as much shit as we could. And we went on like TripAdvisor trying to find like the most fun things to do in the local area, and found an escape room to do. Now, like Kian just said, none of us have done an escape room before, so we were just trying to figure out which is the best sort of room in the venue to do, looking at the challenge ratings and looking at the themes. And we decided upon a casino theme, which we couldn't see a challenge rating for, and we find out on the day that they don't have a challenge rating because it's actually classed as a 6 out of 5-star challenge rating because it's the most difficult room in the place, and it's normally meant for the experienced escape room personnel who know what they're doing.
We were like a
we had
veteran.
no fucking idea.
Bro, no idea. Like zero.
We thought, oh yeah, we played Payday, we know what we can do, we know how to get in, get out, we know how to do all this sort of shit. Yeah. I think, well, you get like an hour, and you're out a certain amount of clues. And I think it got to a point where the woman that worked there just felt sorry for us and just gave us all the clues, and eventually came in and just did the escape room for us. Like,
I mean,
we were so bad, it wasn't even funny.
we actually got a certificate for being so terrible.
I still have that hung up right behind me, actually.
So, Moto, do you want to give our perspective of what happened during the escape room?
So we get into this escape room, right? And bearing in mind at the start, she had said that if we don't do it, police will come in and tackle us. But what we didn't know is that's like a roleplay story that she makes up. It doesn't actually happen. But me and Kian straight up thought that if we don't do this in the time that we do it, we're about to get fucking like, people are about to, FBI open up and run in. Which is like, no, I ain't about that shit. So we get in this room, right? And the first room is tiny. There's 6 of us. 1, 2, 6.
Yeah,
Six of us in this tiny room. And as soon as I get in, I'm like, oh god, this is gonna be a rough time. Like, this room is tiny. The 6 of it's fucking hot, middle of summer. So like, I'm trying my best not to fucking like think about it. I'm like, right, just like focus on trying to do this, and your anxiety will go. Wasn't helping at all. Just wasn't. As much as I tried to put it out of my head, I was like, this is getting worse. The walls are closing in. I need to get the fuck out of here. And as I'm like freaking out a bit, right? And I'm like I'm like, boys, like at this point, I need to tell them because I'm about to like pass out of like just anxiety. I literally, as I turn around, I can see Kian, and Kian is the exact same state I'm in. I can see him sweating, he's pale, he's fidgety, and I can tell he's fucking freaking out. And I'm like, hey boys, man, I think I need to go. Like, I can't, like, this is really fucking with my anxiety. Like, this room's too tiny. And as soon as I said it, Kian's like, yeah, no, me too. I'll go with him. And we leave. And as soon as I get out, Kian's like, thank fuck, man. I was feeling the exact same way. I'm so glad it wasn't just me. I'm like, bro, I don't know how people can sit in a room like that, man. Like, it was, honestly, the first room was fucking tiny. It was small compared to how many of us were in there.
I feel like if I'd gone with less people and I'd also known that nothing like bad was going to happen, I would have stayed. But because obviously the thought of like, oh, some men are gonna burst in and smack me over the head with a truncheon. I was like, I'm not down for it, boys. I'm not down.
For a sense of scale, this first room was essentially like two toilet cubicles, and there were 6 of us.
Yeah, it was like
so there
you
was
could
not
barely
a lot
move.
of room.
No.
And Sean
So,
fucking
like-
stinks as well.
So,
Because it's the middle of summer.
We end up going to reception, and I would be real. The girl at reception, she was fucking
Well,
beautiful.
we immediately left, and we just head straight down. We head straight outside. We go to the local shop, and we just get some drinks and some snacks because we're like, maybe a low blood sugar, we'll be all right. And we come back up, and we just sit in the reception.
Bro, this girl was like phenomenal. Like, she was just one of those girls that are just naturally pretty. Like, they're just good looking girls. And again, like, I was on some weird shit because I was like, I'm just gonna have a good time with it, not gonna think about it. He
kept saying, I'm just gonna do shit. I'm never gonna see anyone here again. I'm just gonna do shit.
Pretty much.
I was like, all right, I support it.
I get talking to her, man, and she was super interesting, and we were just like, pretty much, which Franco will hear about now, we were pretty much just throwing the others under the bus. We were just like talking shit, not like bad shit, but like joking about how bad they were, and like we were just starting small talk, you know, just making her laugh and that. And
we said that we left. We were doing them a favor by leaving because we actually knew how to solve it, so we wanted them to have a challenge.
Yeah, and stuff like that, and like. She had these like weird puzzle things you could do at the reception while like you're waiting or something. So I was just like trying to do them, which I couldn't. They were like pretty hard. Like, I don't know how people were doing them, but she was showing me how to do them and stuff. Like, she was just a super nice girl. And I remember like I was trying to like hint that I wanted her Instagram or something. I don't know how we got on the topic of it. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I don't even know how, but either way, I convinced her to follow me in her company Instagram account of the company that have the search room, like the thingy room.
Oh, I remember how we got onto the topic of Instagram.
How?
I was wingmanning you so fucking hard. Basically, we were like, oh, can we get a certificate at the end because we're so bad? And she wrote it out, and we were like, yeah, we'll take a picture. And I was like, yeah, we can put it on your Instagram and next to all your photography stuff. And then she was like, you do photography?
Yeah.
And then...
Yeah. And then, it was just small talk. And I thought she was, obviously, my opinion of her was, I thought she was super good looking. And just a super chill girl. Like, she was super funny. Anyway, they fail it, which we knew was going to happen. We all knew we were going to fail it as soon as we found out it was a 6 out of 5. They fail, they come out, we're like laughing, like telling them what we've been talking about and stuff, and they're laughing because we failed and stuff, and we get all our certificates for failing, and we take a group photo, and we leave. So as we leave, obviously Kian's like, bro, like Moto was spitting some game.
Money moves down, yeah.
And like, again, like for anybody that knows me, like I wouldn't say
like
shy, but no, I'm not usually like that. Like I don't want to come across as rude or anything like, you know. And then I get a notification, and her fucking personal Instagram account started following me, and I was like, oh, bro, it was just. Long story short, nothing ever came of it. I still speak to her occasionally though. Like, she's still like, just a friend. Like, she's still, honestly, she was beautiful though. Fuck.
And also,
If you're watching this.
the
Oof.
the Instagram account of the company had to unfollow him. She got in trouble.
Oh
for
yeah,
that.
because she got in trouble for it. Yeah, policy. They weren't allowed to. Yeah. Don't know how that ever ended up happening,
Mhm.
but yeah, they had to unfollow me, so I followed them because
Okay,
ain't wasted.
that is pretty much all the highs of the first trip. Now here comes the big boy. Here comes the Scotland trip with these three.
All right, Zach, you have to take this one away.
Yeah.
This is all
So basically, I have a list of stuff once again, and I'm gonna start off with one, and I'm hoping that all of these stories can be checked off as you go. I mean, you guys have the list as well. I'm gonna start off with. Can you talk us through what happened at the airport?
When I first got there, or like just you want like the beginning of how I even ended
Oh yeah,
up
because
going?
it was a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just from the very beginning.
Okay, so I didn't even know that I was gonna end up going. My sister bought me the tickets and put it in a box, and she like called me downstairs like, "Oh, Zach, come on, hurry up, come downstairs. I need you." So I came like running downstairs, and she was like, "I need you to open this box," and I was like, the fuck, okay." So I was thinking there was like an animal or some shit in there. I opened it and I like pull out these papers. And I'm like trying to read it and shit, and I start reading like airline tickets, and then I hear my sister was on FaceTime with Pascal and like showing Moto, showing him my bad, and was like showing him, you know, me opening and like all that shit. And then, you know, obviously I found out, I got really excited, and we had to wait, so it was almost worse because I knew, and like I had to wait a few months before I could go. So like I was like sitting there fucking like counting down the days and shit. Finally get on there, and I gotta take like 2 different airplanes, and I'm in like layovers and shit. I finally get there, and I'm like walking out of this, and I don't know what to expect. You know what I mean? Because it's the first time you know people over like Xbox and, you know, Snapchat and shit. But it's like it's different in person because you guys could like rub each other's feathers the wrong way and, you know, say something. So I'm like freaking out as I'm walking the tunnel. I'm like sweating and shit. Like, oh my god, where am I going? I've never like left the country before, so I'm like looking around me, and there's just weird people, and I'm 6'8", 300 pounds, and everybody's fucking staring at me because I'm like giant, and people stare at me already, so it makes it worse. And I have really bad anxiety. And then like I come walking through this tunnel, and then I seen Moto, and I was just like it. We just like instantly like embraced each other there. There's like a video of it, and everything was just like fine. Like it wasn't like a weird like awkward like what like feeling out.
I
It
called
was
you
just-
chubby.
Yeah, you called me thick. I mean, that's normal. You know?
I like you were definitely taller in person because I gave you a fucking hug, and you just standing up normally giving me a hug lifted me off the ground. And
Those
then
two
I was like,
hugging looks like me and Moto hugging, and I'm 5'8", and
yeah,
Moto's
you're a
like
dwarf.
you're like 6.
I'm 6'2",
Yeah. So you look small in
and
that
Zach's
comparison.
like 7 foot. Yeah, no, Zach's huge, and I didn't. He's always said this to me. He's like, bro, you won't understand how big I am until you see me. And then when I seen him, because I knew exactly it was him as soon as I walked through the gate. Because UK people are fucking midgets, and like there were midgets coming out of the gate, and then all of a sudden it's just this huge guy, fucking tattoos out, and he's like, "Come here, baby." Like it was
Hey,
like
Daddy,
funny
you
though,
know, like the first
because-
thing.
yeah, he called me daddy.
It's funny because in the airport while I was sitting earlier, I have like a bunch of tattoos and shit. Like my arms are like covered in them, and like I was sitting in one of the
Can we keep
Sorry,
going?
I
Time
actually I stretched and pooped. We can leave that in. Sorry. Yo, keep going.
But this old lady was like staring at me and shit, and she kept on looking at my arms, and she was in a wheelchair, and she was like real disgusted that I have tattoos. And like I sat down, and she sat like across from me in her little chair and was like staring at me, and she kept on giving me these dirty looks until eventually she like scoffed at me and just like wheeled her chair away. And like when I went to Ireland before I came to Scotland, the people in the airport were very like, you know, like rude almost. Like it almost felt like people could tell that I didn't belong there, and it was like that's what like triggered my anxiety worse. And then once I like linked up with Moto in person, everything was just a-okay.
Yeah, there's definitely a cultural difference, especially like even where I live. Like I remember the journey back, you were like, dude, a sheep, dude, another sheep, dude, a whole fucking field of sheep. And I was like, you're gonna have a good time, and that's what's hyping you up, because I live in like rural area. Like I live in like farm area. So like he was just in awe with like the scenery, the sheep, and like just the building and the architecture here. It's so much different than where he is.
Well,
Like
because
everything, he was just like, yo, sheep, yo, green building, roads, cars, what the fuck?
like staying in like the like suburbs of like Philadelphia, it's like everything's built up, and in the city it's like super built up, it's super cram packed, and like there's not a lot of like nature, if you will. I mean, except for by me, we have a national park, but all you see is deer. So like that's all we see. It's just constantly deer. That's the only real animal. Like we'll see occasionally like a fox or something like that, but like it was just so weird for me to see just wild sheep just roaming just anywhere. It was just strange. It was really, really culturally different.
Yeah, no facts. What do you think about the temperature?
Okay, so it was cold, but here, like cold weather, it's kind of hard to breathe sometimes. Like you get like this icy feeling in your lungs. But when I was in Scotland, I was breathing a lot better. Like especially when we went up into the Highlands. I can just say, like, waking up in the morning and going outside and just taking a deep breath is completely different than me going outside and taking a breath in the back of my house.
I mean, you could really tell though, especially in the Highlands, but Scotland is also known for having the purest air quality going.
Yeah.
Especially in the Highlands. Like, I always love going to the Highlands and just, because you can really like, it's just,
I almost say
it's just so
it almost
good.
has a taste to it. Like it's like
it's
like natural, just like it's a real good deep breath, as opposed to kind of being like, I don't know, a good deep breath there is like worth 1,000 deep breaths here, if that makes any sense.
no, I get that.
If you're from America and you think he's chatting shit, you won't know until you come. Like honestly, it's insane in the Highlands.
Yeah, no, it's fucking, it's good. And like even like the journey here, like he got to meet my brother, and like as much as me and Zach clicked, which we kind of knew was gonna happen, there was a little bit of nervousness, but like literally after the first interaction, it's like we've seen each other for years. And like the same with him and my brother, like him and my brother got on like fucking pigs and shit. Like it was like like they were friends forever. And like obviously me and my brother have very similar interests, and I'm pretty sure we spent a good like most of that journey just talking about anime on the way home, like all the animes my brother watches and stuff.
Anime and like weed and like Tinder at the time and like shit like that. Like it was very like everything we did, like just we all just had the same interests, and it was just like nice.
Also on the topic of weed, we are obviously originally from Holland, so just before you think we had some kind of fucking weed like party at my house in the UK, no, we were just discussing it.
No, he had a weed party in his house, and I partook in it, and so did Franco, and Kian was also there, even though we never met each other.
Kian was the weed. We smoked Kian.
No.
It was a good time. But if anybody asks, no weed party was had. No, but true. no weed weed party was had.
We're sensible.
We just have we have common interests. And obviously from a country where it's very much legal and normal. That discussion was had. But anyway, continue.
Do you want me to throw another title at you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yo, how we got about the trip to the Highlands?
So, well, before that,
we've got something with him
before that, the first thing I've got is boots.
Okay, so fucking.
So do you wanna talk about Franco, how you guys linked up with Franco and how he came up and everything?
Yeah, so Franco, I'm pretty sure you had to lie to your work, did you not?
No. So do you want me to
get
the story from the start from my point of view? So I had zero idea that Zach was coming over. Like I wasn't told anything until one day I'm watching Moto streams, and now I said in the stream chat, like, I'm just gonna go get some food, back in a minute. But before I did that, I was just on my phone and like spaced out, and I hear on stream Moto say, "Oh yeah, when my mate from America comes over, like blah blah blah." So I put a message in the stream like, "Hold up, what?" And he's like, "Oh fuck, like this was meant to be a surprise, like he wasn't meant to know." And then straight away he rings Zach and is like, "Look, I've just ruined this sort of thing."
Yeah, I fucked up.
But that worked out better in the long run of things, because if I wasn't told until he arrived, there was no way I would have been able to book time off work and arrange to go up and meet them, because it's like a 4 or 5 hour sort of train journey. So in the end, it worked out for the best. But basically, I was at university, and the day Zach actually arrived was my mum's birthday. So I actually travelled home the weekend to see my mum. So I actually ended up arriving like 2 or 3 days after Zach did. So they had some time on their own, and then I travelled up, had a longer day travelling, and went to meet them. So I'm on the bus, on the way to meet them. The guys have been waiting at the bus stop, and then I arrive, and the guys decide to point out the fact that I'm wearing Chelsea boots.
Chelsea boots, bro. These were the pointiest motherfuckers
These
you
boots
ever.
was made for walk-ins.
And
One of these days, these boots gonna pop ya in mattress blue.
So these boots, I don't know why, but it just became a source of just roasting him about these boots.
We photoshopped his face on Woody from the Toy Story, and we would look
Bro,
at him and go, "There's a snake in my boot."
There's a snake in my boot. Dude, I
just wait. I just want to point out first of all that these are just standard Doc Marten Chelsea boots. There's like nothing fancy about them. They're not like some.
No, it's because we've never seen you wear them before, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's nothing like they're not like anything special or like completely out there and like so just like crazy. It's just I'm normally a trainers and like Vans kind of guy, and I treated myself to some boots, and everyone's like, "What the fuck is going on here?"
But just before he left for the trip, he obviously, because me and Gino have lived together for the last 3 years. He came into my room. He's like, "Hey, what do you think about these?" And I was like, "Yo, those are some nice shoes. Get them." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna wear them up to the trip." And I was like, "Yeah, that'll be cool." Also, just an aside, I knew about the whole Zach coming over and trying to hide it from Gino. I knew the whole thing, but I just couldn't tell him because obviously Keck W, it's a good meme.
Yeah.
Can't tell you.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he was like, "Oh yeah, what do you think about these boots?" Yeah, and I was like, "Yeah, cool." And then obviously he leaves on the day and he's like, "Yeah, I'm taking these shoes," and then like a pair of trainers and stuff. I'm like, "All right, cool, have fun, bye." And then he gets ridiculed to fuck for them.
Bro, this man was wearing the fucking tightest ass skinny jeans with these fucking big ass boots. Like, he looked like a cowboy. He looks like he came straight from Ram Ranch. He looks like he came straight out of Ram Ranch, bro. Like it was just, I don't know. The first thing me and fucking Zach seen were these fucking boots.
The boots wouldn't have been that bad if what he did with them didn't happen.
Well, he did it with his elbows, if we're gonna be honest. But the thing that got out of hand was, okay, so you ever have like a sleepover with your friends when you're like 8, and it's like 4 o'clock in the morning and nobody slept, and like it almost seems like everybody's on crack, and if somebody goes poop or pudding, you're just gonna die yourself laughing. So it got to the point where me and Pascal were like on that level, and we were just being just annoying fucks, and we kept on making fun of Franco over and over and over and over again, and it got to the point where he almost left. He thought about leaving.
It was like 4 in the morning, like exhaustion for like a 12-hour traveling day, and I was like, you know what, I don't have the fucking patience for this. And it was just like, obviously, I know it's obviously all sort of banter and everything, but it's just like on like a minimal sleep, full day traveling. Sometimes you just like, fuck this shit,
bro. Like, also, the fucking I got Franco the most bougiest sleeping bag, right? Like, fucking
Cadillac of sleeping.
This thing,
blow-up
bro,
bags.
blow-up bed. This thing cost me £400, right? This motherfucker, the first time of use, he fucking, I don't know what he does. I don't know.
Edward Scissor elbow.
Bro, he says it's his elbow, but I seriously am confused by how an elbow pierces
Honestly,
a hole
the weirdest
through his
fucking situation.
blow-up bag. Like, he straight up, instantly I shut up about his boots. Like, I was like, bro, $400 you just fucking broke. I was so we made you sleep on the beanbags. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, 2 beanbags put together, just laid on them, and they
Yeah,
were
I was-
comfy as hell. I was like, yeah. I'm
Well, I
fine
had
with
to
this.
share our bed with fucking Zach, who was trying to get with my sister on my Snapchat all night.
Oh, that was fucking brilliant. That was great.
So like,
Relax.
what do you mean? You saying that didn't happen? Because I can get her on the podcast for an interview.
That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is we have a story to focus on, and it would be a real shame if we fell off topic again.
Yeah, that's why. Not because of a
okay.
guest.
Hashtag free Zach. Anyway, so yeah, so the Highlands wasn't even a fucking planned thing. Like we didn't pick up Franco, said we're going to the Highlands. Next day, my brother came over. It was like later on during the day. My brother came over and we're sitting down and we're like, okay, we have a week. What should we do? And we're like, oh, we could do this, we could do that. And then it was just like, oh, we could go to the Highlands. Because my mum used to always take us as kids every year, and me and my brother try and go up every year just as a thing to do. Because the Highlands is just, can't never get enough of it. It's so good. And my mum used to take us to all these spots that she knew that not many people know of, like tourist wise. So it's nice and desolate. So we're like, dude, we should go to the Highlands. And a few weeks before that, months before that, me and my brother and my sisters had stayed up in like a not log cabin.
It's like a wham.
It was like a wigwam, a wigwam. And we stayed up there and it was super good. So we were thinking, yo, we should take the lads up to the wigwam and go up to the Highlands. So we were like searching wigwams, and then this offer popped up of lodges. Now, boys, how bougie was this lodge? Like how
we were like living life,
bro. Out of a scale of 1 to 10, how fucking rich man was this lodge?
It's crazy because it was like perfect storm. Like it was one of them scenarios where we just had to, because I saved up like a pretty big sum of money just specifically for this trip. So I was not obviously it wasn't like $10,000, but I had like almost $5,000 in my bank account. So I was using that. That's just like straight spending money. Like it didn't matter what it was, if it was a shop or clothing or food or whatever. And we looked at this deal, and me and Moto were just like, you know what? Fuck it. Like let's just go halves on it basically.
And it was like on deal as well, because it was out of season for when tourists go out, because it wasn't summer. So like this would be normally rent wise would be in the thousands, because it was like, I don't know. I'll put some pictures in. It was
like an out of season.
Yeah. So we got it on a
5
deal.
nights in a log cabin on the end of a log cabin on the edge of the loch. It was like
on the edge of the Loch Lomond. It was honestly, we got there. Oh my god, it was so good, man. Like it was beautiful. Like the beds, each room had robes, towels,
slippers,
everything, slippers,
standing showers that had a sauna.
Standing showers, sauna,
TV
tub. Bro, huge ass living room with a big ass table that was literally made for beer pong. Kitchen,
balcony looking over the loch.
Bro, it had
jacuzzi,
everything.
hot tub.
It was incredible.
Bro, I felt like such a fucking rich man walking around.
And the first thing we did walking into that house was that everyone get changed and put on a pristine white house robe.
Oh, bro, and
slippers.
It was fucking baller.
And we
did
cracked
start
open a
drinking.
can of beer. Straight
We did
away.
start drinking. And we also, so the first night we got into the hot tub, and they had told us specifically, under no circumstances could there be any alcohol or anything
And there
spilled in
never
the hot
was.
tub. And there never was, but there was an incident where we may have got severe chlorine burns. No idea how. No idea.
There was no alcohol.
There was no Viking clashing of cans of cider inside the hot tub.
There was
I don't know
no
why anyone
four
would accuse us of
very
that.
intoxicated men in a hot tub with large cans of alcohol beverages
It's
in this
crazy
hot tub.
because the one night I did get like really drunk to the point where I just like I felt like I was just
French fries.
stumbling
French
in
fries?
my bed, and I was like, oh my god! Like it got to the point where I was like, I might throw up, and then I just passed out. And I woke up the next morning all hungover and shit, and I was like, wow.
When you wanted to go skinny dipping in the lock at like 3 in the morning whilst it was like
I had to
negative
talk
degrees.
you out of it because I was like, Zach, listen, I don't think you understand, bro. This is Scotland water. Not only Scotland water, this is Highland water in the middle of winter. Like,
At
This
3 in
shit
the
will
morning when
freeze
it's
your
below,
body.
it's
Like,
below
you're
0.
You're intoxicated. It's like -6. This water is gonna be colder than that. You do not want to jump off the end of this dock into this water. It's stupid. And you're like, whatever. Going in. And we're like, Zach, seriously, man, like for real, like we
And it's
can't
just
let you in
thankfully
there.
that he passed out
Stupid.
in the,
Yeah,
in
and
the
then-
log
yeah.
cabin before he actually went
Before
for it.
he actually,
Otherwise,
because
oh, it would have been game
oh
over.
man, bro, it was I didn't want to have to fish my fucking friend out the water because like for anybody that doesn't understand like Scotland, it's cold, like, and it's not a cold where it's like, oh, put a jumper on. No, this cold will rip through your jumper, rip for whatever you're wearing, through your skin and hit your soul. Like this, it's like a fucking, it's chilly as fuck. And like, picture that with -5 weather. That's just outside, not in the water. It's snowing. It's 3 in the morning. He's had alcohol. He's fucked up. He's dizzy. He feels like he's about to throw up and he wants to jump in this lock. Nah. We were fucked up too, but still
We were
reasonable
more
enough to be
sensible,
like,
yeah.
homie, no. I'm not about to have to call your mum to say your son has just fucking gone missing in Loch Lomond.
I mean, I'll admit this right now. I was very willing to go in with him, but I knew it wasn't a good idea.
Yeah, no, there was under no circumstances were me and my brother about to let you two jump in that water.
Oh yeah.
Like, no way.
I think not to like change the subject, but just like personally, so I think one of those things that I got to experience was coming up with my camera and getting to do all the photography experiences and stuff. So like while we were up there, we went to a few different places. One of them was I think it was Buchanan Castle. Is that what it was called?
Oh yeah,
Buchanan
was
Castle,
it?
yeah.
Buchanan.
An old World War II medical hospital
Yeah.
castle. It was amazing.
We got the whole thing on GoPro and we got a lot of really good pictures, but it was just like this giant 3-level abandoned castle, and we got to go in there and explore that. We went to a missile torpedo launch site that was abandoned.
Yeah.
Got some really cool GoPro video there and some pictures there.
Abandoned railway.
Well, we went on a few different hikes and got to climb up the sides of some baby trail road things, and that wrapped around a mountain and got some pretty cool views.
Stupid.
But those experiences are things that I keep. A lot of people don't get to do that kind of shit, especially
No,
over
facts.
here. Where the fuck is there an abandoned castle? Please let me know. It doesn't have.
Yeah. But then again, you've got abandoned insane asylums, and we have
Yeah.
abandoned castles. We don't have abandoned insane asylums, unless we do have them, but they are top notch.
Locked
You're not getting in them.
down.
Yeah, you are not getting in. There is no way you're getting in these places.
Not that we condone trespassing or anything. It's just
No,
cool to look
not
from the
even
outside.
not even for a photo. It's not worth it.
No, we
It's
just
silly.
look from the outside and admire.
We've never ever trespassed in a place we shouldn't have been for photo purposes. Ever.
I've never left my
And it will
house.
never
I
happen.
mean, it's on my record, so if you actually look up my record, I do have criminal trespassing on there. I can't lie. So yeah.
But if
Whoa,
I can be
sorry, you're a
associated
criminal.
with
Get out of the
convict.
podcast.
Yo,
sorry, you have to
yo.
leave.
See, we didn't know about this beforehand, so
Sorry, 8 years of friendship down the drain now. Sorry,
Yeah,
goodbye.
get out.
Yeah,
We're looking for a new member to join the
Associated.
Bloom podcast.
the Bloom podcast.
Yeah, now that you
Overall,
can
though,
use
it
that
was
name.
just a fucking genuine and not even life changing, but it's something I will definitely cherish for the rest of my life. Like that, I
Oh,
can't
hands down.
fathom how spontaneous, but how good the trip was. There wasn't a dull moment. We were in McDonald's at fucking 2:00 in the morning in the middle of buttfuck nowhere, and the car suspension snaps. I'm not gonna
Popped
point
like a
fingers.
motherfucker.
I'm not gonna
I
point
am a
fingers.
giant
I'm-
human, okay? I can't help it.
I'm not gonna point fingers, but it snapped on Zach's side. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. All right?
This
it
little
sounded
ass
like a
car, all
gunshot.
4 of us
Zach-
packed in it.
Dude, Zach's so used to the Philly life, he hears a pop. He's like, yo, duck! And we're like, yo, chill, bro. What's up? Yo, they're popping caps out here. But bro, we're in the middle of fucking nowhere. No, but for real, it popped, and it generally did sound like a gunshot. We were like, what the fuck was that? And then the car just sinks on one side. And we were like, no. And the whole
We genuinely
journey
thought
back,
we were stranded.
and from the journey from that drive-through back to the lodge, it was so depressing. We were like, we
But the
have to
thing is as
travel
well,
so
like
long
the day
back home.
after we left to go back to your house, it fucking snowed, and we would have been like completely like stuck.
Oh, we would have been mad.
We would have been,
fucked.
yeah, it would have been mental.
Yeah, we were a bit like, how the fuck are we gonna fit? Like, we were thinking about maybe Amazon delivering suspension to the
Yeah,
lodge.
we were planning on paying for a few extra nights just so we could like organize
Yeah,
stuff to fix the
car.
car.
Yeah. Luckily,
That's
like
crazy.
again, luckily with the friends group we are, like we have enough knowledge to know how to fix it. But it was just like, I can't believe this actually just fucking happened.
It was just-
like, what the
Only
fuck?
the
And
sort
my
of shit that
brother,
happened with our group as well.
and my brother was so hesitant the whole time to go to McDonald's. He was like, I don't know, I kind of want to, but I kind of don't. Like, and then he finally goes, and
Oh
we
yeah,
get
we
there,
pressured him
his
into that.
suspension-
Break his
Yeah,
fucking
then he
car.
get there, and his suspension just snaps.
Oh my god.
It was rough, but again, that's a memory that I'll forever cherish.
Oh, yeah, it was
now it's
fucking
funny
hilarious.
as fuck.
I mean,
Right.
even at the time, it was funny as fuck, but it was just like slightly worrying as well.
Bro, my brother was like, my sister told me that my brother had messaged her. By the way, Dennis, if you listen to this, I'm sorry that I'm exposing you on the Bloom podcast. But my sister had said that my brother messaged her to ask if she could say a little like burn a candle and just having thoughts that we're gonna get home safe, because he was seriously worried that going about 60 miles an hour on the highway and this fucking car was just gonna disintegrate. But luckily we got home, and that is generally the last time my brother's noble little Polo that could was
Took the
ever driven.
adventure,
Because
Yeah.
That's one
Yeah,
hell of
it
a
was-
fucking end.
it was after
journey,
that
man.
it was scrapped. He couldn't drive it anymore. It was fucked. It
So-
was broken, and he got rid of the car.
That car. Have I been in that car? Is that the one we did all the?
That's the that when we listened to Ramstein.
We did like a bunch of errands before we did a Christmas stream on Moto's channel, which we'll talk about in another podcast because I feel like that deserves a whole podcast and some guests and stuff because that was a wild
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, the Christmas stream was fucking
Yeah.
was good.
I feel like because we've been going for like an hour and 10 minutes now. I feel like to wrap up the podcast, we should finish off with the pool table saga. You know, a tale
Oh,
of drinking, a tale of rejection, and a tale of beer
tale-
pong.
the tale of the biggest comeback in pool history. Bro,
Break it down for me. Tell me what
we-
happened.
Me and my
Hora es no speak English.
bro, me
no
and my
understand
brother,
me.
yo, get the fuck out of here, Zach. Me and my brother were talking mad shit how good our pool used to be, and we were getting smoked by fucking Zach and Franco. Now, what you should probably also know is over here in the UK, you can spend 50p for a pool game. We spent at least 100 to 200 pounds on this pool table. Like
in like 6 days.
in 6 days. Like every morning, it was breakfast and pool. Go home, go back to the lodge, do whatever we wanted to do. Come back, pool.
We
Go
would bring,
out,
like,
take photos, come
We would
back,
bring
pool.
alcohol with us. We would bring snacks. So we
It
would
got
just,
to the
like, set
point
up
where we
inside.
turn up in our bathrobes.
Yeah, yeah.
With a kitchen tray full of chips.
We
So, like,
even got the
cooked.
people who work there to come play pool in our tournament with us. Like
Yeah.
it became a lodge
It was a
thing.
thing.
We spent so much money. Now, me and my brother, we were getting smoked. Okay, we were getting smoked not only because few people were having lucky shots. I will post videos to say that it was fluky lucky shots because Zach, I've never seen a worse pool player in my life. I've also never seen
Yoink.
somebody bend the pool cue like it was a noodle. All right, so we're getting smoked, right? We're just stupid mistakes. Putting the blacks. My brother putted the blacks so many times, bro. It's unreal. Okay, so we were like down like 16 games. Like we were hard in the rut. We fully lost composure. We were in a rut, in the vortex. Next day, bro, we come back. All right, we come back. We're like, yo, comeback season. And for the next 2 days, we are on the biggest comeback of the century. And we leave that lodge pool champions, bro. We sweep these two motherfuckers under the rug. We
I
came
blame it
back
all on Zach.
fire, bro. We like it was the biggest comeback of the century. All that shit talking was finally worth it. We came home not only pool victories, but beer pong kings, bro. It was sorry, I get really really emotional about
Yeah,
this.
so I lost a lot. My dignity, winning spirit, any hope I had of becoming successful in life was all just lost.
Imagine
So
traveling
that's pretty-
5,000 miles just to fucking
Just to
lose at
lose.
pool.
Yeah, that's
Bro,
pretty cool.
Bro,
That's
the
what it was,
thing
it was
is,
a
right,
jet lag,
when they
that's
were
what going on.
winning, this was classic Xbox shit. When they were winning, they were talking mad smack.
Oh, of course.
Like, they were like, you guys suck, get in the fucking trash. And I have a video with Zach absolutely fucking getting fried, and he just stops, turns around, and gets in the bin with the pool cue and just sits in the bin. Like, I know my place. Dude, honestly, it was the biggest comeback, that pool table. But the pool table was also at the biggest slant ever. Like, it was like
Oh, the cushions on that table were awful.
the most ruggedy ass pool table, bro. But it was so much fun. Like, we made the best of that pool table. Like, that
yeah.
pool table didn't seen that much action
Just
or money ever.
want to make sure that you hit the video when you were like in line with Zach as you're trying to.
Oh, I've got it. I've got it. I'll put it all in, bro. I'll make sure I put it all in.
Oh, it was incredible.
There's
It was
also
incredible.
something to do. I've got three more titles here. I've got Rejection, Drunk, and Beer Pong.
We already
rejection
talked
at
about beer pong. The
Donald's
rejection.
drive-through.
Zach, do you want to talk about the rejection at McDonald's drive-through?
Yeah, I went to McDonald's. Okay, I was messing with a fat chick.
Oh my god!
I was like joking about it. Little did I know that this thing was getting recorded, and basically I was just trying to get some girl's number, but she knew that I was messing with her, and she didn't like it, so she made me look like an idiot on camera. There's a video of it. Everybody takes a loss every now and then. Some loss is greater than others. You know what I mean?
And some losses get caught on camera.
Wait, did you guys film this?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not gonna.
yeah, I've got it.
got a video.
Somebody
of that.
send me
I'm
this
not gonna
video.
say that it didn't happen because
Send
it
me
did.
it right now, please.
But what I will say is,
I got
you
you.
miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
Yo,
so
facts,
it's like
facts.
shooter's gonna shoot. You know what I mean?
Thing is, she was also acting like she wasn't interested, but she was just being a little bit of a, you know.
She just knew that she was on shift, so she couldn't do shit.
Yeah, like she was into it. Like, you would reject. I just remembered. Remember when we got the bus in Edinburgh and we had to leave Zach at the front of the bus because the bus was busy, and he was like the most out of place man ever.
Yeah,
in the middle of
everybody.
Edinburgh.
Well, they put me in the front section where it's supposed to be for old and handicapped people, and it's just like literally it says if somebody comes on, you need to move, and people kept coming on that were like needed a spot, like a dude in a wheelchair and like a bunch of other shit, and like I couldn't move because I didn't know where to go because it's like this 2-layer bus, and like they just left me. Like I flew from Pennsylvania all the way to Scotland, and if I get lost like out of this view, I could be done forever. You know what I mean? Like I'm gone, and I know myself. I'm not making it home. I'm gonna end up dying. I'm gonna fall down a cliff or off a bridge or hit by a car.
I'll
I'm
get
gonna
beaten
talk
up
to
for talking
somebody.
about a man
No.
with a statue and a stupid hat.
Yeah, you would fucking get your head kicked in by people because we go to one of the most monumental statues in Edinburgh, and all you hear is Zach screaming, "That's a fucking stupid hat!"
Because it was a stupid fucking hat. What is the point of that?
Bro,
What are you wearing that hat for? There's no
it's a
reason for
fucking
that.
statue.
Scottish
And if anybody
glory.
wants to smoke, I'll drop the Addy. I ain't scared of you.
Oh my god!
Bro,
That was a dumb hat. Just point blank period. I'm gonna tell how if it was a cool hat, I would have been like, it's a cool hat.
Bro, I was looking around like, I'm sorry. No, he's got problems. I'm sorry. Don't ignore him. Ignore him.
That's
I was
usually
like,
what we have to say for
Zach. Fuck you.
We left
no, it
Edinburgh
was-
with a lot of anime.
We did leave Edinburgh.
We
with a lot
bought
of time,
so
man.
much from so
Zach,
many
did
different
you get
shops.
that fighting stuff?
Yeah, I bought some like shit from Shippuden, like the placeholders. I bought Ryan some stuff.
Shippuden sounds like an Indian porn star name.
You got that like skin tight hoodie moto.
Bro,
And, like, the
listen,
My
I don't know what it
Hero
is about
poster.
Japanese people, but if
You
your
wanna-
XL is an S in English terms, that's fucking
I
dumb.
just
I
don't
knew
think-
that their sizes were smaller, and so I
I've got
got
the video
XL.
of the video of you two in bed like wrestling, and then he starts tickling you, and you're like, I'm gonna poop, I'm gonna poop, I'm gonna poop.
Yo, listen, we
And
cut
you're
that
in that My
podcast. Give me
Hero.
the fucking timestamp.
Edit that out.
1:15
Yo,
quality.
edit that part out. Yo, we trying to expose us out here.
Yo, this one time, Zach and Pascal, they tickle each other on their bed, borderline naked. It was so funny. And then
Zach goes over and starts
Hey,
eating
you
it.
bring out boots, I'm bringing out that.
Bro, why? Yeah, you had boots on. You weren't tickling somebody half naked on the bed. He was tickling me though, to be fair.
That
And
was
if
so
I-
funny.
Yeah, that's it.
Is that
That's
the
how-
podcast?
That
We
is the
bloomed all of our
podcast?
stories.
Oh fuck.
Dude, have we fucking prematurely bloomed?
Ooh.
Is this
I-
the blooming podcast?
Nope.
Hey Zach, now that the podcast is done, are you trying to come over and tickle me half naked? Let's go.
Oh, fucking hell. Cool. Let's wrap up there. Thank you everyone for listening. This has been. We didn't even introduce ourselves at the start of this podcast. That's.
They know who we are
Wait,
now.
wait, wait.
This is what I'm gonna do to end this. Okay, I'm
Okay.
gonna say a few things.
Okay, Zach, you
Okay,
close
so
out the
if-
podcast.
I'm gonna wrap this up. If there's anything to be taken from today, it's that if you have a stupid hat, I'm gonna tell you have a stupid fucking hat. Okay. Kian decided to meet Moto, and him and Franco decided to set off every sensory detail
Mhm.
that could make him snap. So they're just obviously awesome friends. Like, get you some friends like them.
If you want us to come to your house and set off your sensory issues, then we'll come and do it. It's fine. I'll bring an air horn and some smoke
it-
grenades.
I bet that was just awesome. This is amazing. And lastly, I fucking hate all of you people who listening right now. Just so all of you know, I hate you. Every one of you.
We're not calling
Somebody's
the podcast
got-
Bloom.
But
Yeah,
for
I'm
real,
gonna
for real, I
bloom
think-
these nuts across your face and stick a flower up your
Ooh.
butt. Keep fucking
Oh
with me.
shit! All right, this
Damn.
just points the whole accusation of tickle a man half naked is really
Wow.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
looking
dude,
great.
Do we
for
want to
you.
talk about what's on my GoPro? Question mark.
Oh.
do you wanna talk about-
No, we
Yo,
don't.
do you want to talk about the
Wait,
video I have of you
actu-
admitting you want to shower with me?
Because I do.
Oh,
Actually, the GoPro thing would kind of be a funny story, but we can't show it.
no, we can't even. No, we can't even talk about it. I'm not talking
It's
about
too
it.
big. It's too big to fit on camera.
Listen, shut the fuck up. We're ending it. Let's go. Done.
Goodbye, everybody.
See you later.
Bye. Bye. Shower time.